Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you an activity that you can do from all of those polystyrene trays that you get every time you go shopping. First thing is fine motor skills. You can give them a whole tray full of things that they can poke into it to decorate it. You ask them to make a construction and they can use straws. They're going to have to use a pincer grip and pop it in. They can use feathers if you've got feathers. Those can get stuck in. You can even use a craft stick, which will have to be hammered in hard. They're going to love to do that. If you don't have craft sticks, an ice cream stick, you'll have to eat a lot of lollipops, and you can have ice cream sticks. We've got toothpicks, we've got colored toothpicks, and even drawing pins can work. Obviously you have to be very careful and watch the kids so they can't be left on their own with it, but even that can work. Little pegs that you may have around, those can work. So the kids can have a ball, poking all sorts of things into your polystyrene. If you have shapes that have got holes in it, if you've got anything with holes in it, you can put that on and then encourage them with the toothpick to make a pattern through each hole, to even leave the toothpicks in there, and really it's about being creative. The straws can be put over the toothpicks. If you've got pipe cleaners, those can go in, which take a little bit more manipulation. If you've got beads, the kids can thread the beads onto the pipe cleaners, and all sorts of things can go on there, and that can keep them busy forever. Drawing pins are excellent for beginning writing skills. They need to use a pincer grip to hold it very carefully, and they have to use their eye-hand coordination very carefully. So for the younger ones, you can just obviously watch them very carefully so they don't put it in their mouths or poke themselves or their siblings with it. So they can poke the paper. It's a piece of paper on the carpet. They can't do it on a tile. And you can draw some shapes on there or their names on it, and you ask them to prick out their names so they would go all across the A for A, or all onto the cross, any shape, whatever you want to do. And if you hold it up to the light, when there's light, it will make like it looks like a sparkling stars. Some more fine motor skills is obviously cutting. Cutting, they can use, if you've got plastic scissors, that's awesome. Some of them are still cutting like that. That's the beginning of cutting, which is fine. If they can use 2 fingers, they are cutting. It's a nice, easy tool. It's so rewarding because it makes a sound and it cuts really, really nicely. And a plastic one will work. Proper scissors will also work for the older kids that are still learning scissor skills. And then any plastic knife with sort of a serrated edge is awesome for sawing. And that is also rewarding because they can saw and it actually makes a difference, makes a dent. Other skills is tearing. Ask them to tear it into tiny little pieces. Keep those pieces for floating in water. Water play, excellent. Make little boats. These float beautifully on water. Put little toothpicks in, and water play where these things can go on forever. The other fine motor skill that we have is threading. Taking another polystyrene, happen to have a plate here. You can make holes in it. They can poke the holes, or you can make a hole using just a plain straw, poking holes in all over. You can make it a pattern, or you can make just random holes everywhere. And then threading using any piece of wool, colorful wool, as many as you want, as long as you want. And if you've got a plastic, that's awesome. A plastic needle, that's awesome. If not, just take a piece of masking tape, sellotape, any tape, and wrap it around the edge of the wool, and it's as good enough as a needle, and that they can use to thread through each hole. You might just want to tape the bottom, the end piece down so it doesn't keep on pulling out. And you encourage them to thread. This is using 2 hands because they have to hold it and they have to pull it. And this is the easiest gross motor that you can do with them, is it becomes a frisbee, and you can throw it, and especially if it's windy, it can fly very, very high, and they can run and catch it, run and jump, and you can throw it to them or they can throw it to you. If you've got the big ones that come in the packaging, those are awesome. Cut them up, you can cut them into little blocks and that can become a sensory play, hides all sorts of things in there. Encourage them to use this for whatever. They can fill things in it. They can use it for poking or for cutting or for whatever else. And then the kids love this one. If you've got golf pegs, it's for hammering. A wooden block would work, a wooden spoon would work, anything to hammer would work, and they hammer these into these blocks. Even if you've just got little ones, those can also work. If you're brave enough and got a whole lot of nails at home, you put that in and they can use those to hammer in as well and to make all sorts of construction. Right, for a painting activity, you can have, if you've got water paint, it's just a little bit of colour in food colouring you can use in some water. And if you have got an eyedropper or a puppet or a turkey baster or whatever they're called, this is great for teaching the kids to scoop it up and drop it in. The nice thing about this is that the paint doesn't stick, so it runs. You can encourage them to use their hands and twist it and twirl it, which will work awesome. Do this outside because it can become messy. They can use all sorts of colors, let the colors run together, and then if you really want to keep it afterwards, you just put a paper in and you got some artwork for them. Otherwise, give it to them and let them go and wash it. If you don't have a turkey baster, a cotton wool bud would also work as a paintbrush, and they can use that to paint all sorts of things. My other really favorite painting activity with polystyrene is using a proper paints, tempera paints, if you've got those, powder paint mixed with water. And here I've just got the basic primary colors, which is yellow, and I'm going to paint it on there. You're going to encourage them to paint just the top of the plate, just random spots, random colors. They can paint as much as they want to, and then we can just put it on a piece of paper. You turn it over, and this you might need to help them turn it and squish it down and turn it and lift it up, and you have the most beautiful patterns. I love this. I've used this in my Moms and Tots class quite a lot, and that you can definitely frame for future artwork. Thanks. Enjoy.